Do you feel it? That exhaustion that lingers after a simple conversation, as if something invisible and heavy had been transferred to you. While others move on energized, you feel drained, as if you're carrying not only your own emotions, but those of everyone around you. If this describes your experience, you're not alone. Jung identified people like you, emotional sponges who naturally absorb energies most others don't even perceive. But here's the truth that few know. Your true nature is not to be a passive sponge, doomed to absorb darkness. Your essence is to be a lighthouse, radiating light, remaining unshaken when emotional waves crash against you. If you're seeking to understand this profound transformation that few dare to undertake, join us on this journey of self-discovery. With one click, subscribe to the channel and let's dive deep into this knowledge together. The difference is vital. The sponge burns out. The lighthouse can shine indefinitely because its light comes from within. What you will now discover is how to transform your sensitivity from a vulnerability into your greatest strength. Here's a liberating truth Carl Jung discovered after decades studying the human psyche. When people withdraw from you or react negatively to your presence, it's rarely about you. It's about what you awaken in them. Jung called this projection, an unconscious mechanism where others project onto you aspects of themselves they can't or won't acknowledge. Your authenticity, your depth, your refusal to engage in superficial games, these act as a relentless mirror. And not everyone is ready to see what that mirror reveals. Notice how certain people seem inexplicably uncomfortable around you, even when you've done nothing but be yourself. Notice how some pull away, just as conversations begin to deepen. Notice how others may label you as too intense, too sensitive, or too complicated, as if depth were a flaw to be corrected. When someone feels discomfort with your energy, it's not your light that threatens them. It's what that light illuminates within them. Their own unintegrated shadows, deep insecurities, the masks they've carefully built and now fear you can see through. Jung discovered that people build elaborate personas, social masks carefully crafted to hide their vulnerabilities. When your natural light penetrates these defenses, they're not reacting to you. They're reacting to the fear of being truly seen. It's as if you possess X-ray vision, seeing through protective layers that took years to construct. This is the real reason why highly sensitive and authentic people often become targets of criticism, exclusion, or even hostility. Your mere presence creates a field of clarity where illusions can't easily survive. It's important to understand the true nature of this light you carry. It's not superiority. It's not arrogance. It's not a conscious attempt to expose others. It's simply the natural vibration of a soul that cannot settle for the superficial. It's an energy that instinctively seeks truth beneath appearance, that perceives contradictions between what is said and what is felt, that sees human potential beyond self-imposed limitations. Jung described this quality as part of the process of individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are, integrating all parts of yourself. People who've progressed on this journey naturally emit a different energy. They speak with purpose, not just to fill silence. They listen with full presence, not just waiting for their turn to speak. They seek meaningful connections, not just empty social exchanges. This light has distinct qualities that Jung identified in his most psychologically integrated patients. It is a presence rooted in the present moment, not constantly lost in the past or anxious about the future. It's an energy that tolerates ambiguity and contradiction without the desperate need to simplify human complexity. It's a force that honors both joy and pain as equally valuable parts of the human experience. When you carry this light, this unshakable authenticity, you unintentionally become a catalyst. Your mere presence can accelerate the growth process, bringing to the surface what needs to be seen and transformed. But not everyone is ready for that level of catalysis. This authenticity, this refusal to dim your light to make others comfortable, is precisely what unsettles those who are not yet ready to face their own truths. Now, you begin to understand why you receive those familiar labels. too intense, too sensitive, too deep, too questioning. Notice how the problem always seems to be that you are too something, as if your natural amplitude were something to be contained, diminished, tamed. What is really happening is a clash of frequencies. Your authentic vibration creates a dissonance with the denser energies of denial, superficiality, conformity. It's like playing a pure note in an environment used only to noise. It naturally causes discomfort in those unprepared to hear it. Jung observed that modern society has created a cult of superficiality, a tacit agreement where everyone pretends to be less aware than they are, less deep than they could be. When you refuse to take part in this agreement, you not only stand out, you inadvertently expose the nature of this collective pact. Observe the reactions: subtle withdrawal, sideways glances, comments minimizing your insights or concerns. You're overthinking it. It's not that deep. Why complicate things? These are not just casual opinions. They're defense mechanisms, attempts to preserve a comfortable level of unconsciousness. Attempts to dim your light are rarely conscious or malicious. They're automatic protective reactions from people who, on some level, feel that your presence invites an awakening they're not yet ready for. Here we arrive at the heart of the transformation Jung identified as essential for sensitive souls: the art of being a lighthouse, not a sponge. This is an ancient practice of energetic protection that does not diminish your sensitivity, but transmutes it into power. First, recognize the true nature of others' reactions. When someone feels discomfort with your energy, take a deep breath and remember, this is not about you. It's about what your light activates in them. This simple shift in perspective already lightens the burden of carrying responsibility for others' reactions. Jung called this withdrawing projections, the act of returning to the other what belongs to them. Second, do not absorb what is not yours to carry. This is the crucial difference between the sponge and the lighthouse. The sponge absorbs passively. The lighthouse remains luminous without incorporating the surrounding darkness. When you feel heavy energies trying to penetrate your field, imagine them like water sliding down glass, visible, recognizable, but unable to enter. Your job is not to absorb others' shadows, but to light the way. Third, maintain your light even when pressured to dim it. Jung discovered that many sensitive souls learn early on to reduce their intensity, to contain their sharp perception, to pretend not to see what they see. This is a betrayal of your essential nature. Your brightness is not an accident or a flaw to be corrected. It's your unique contribution. The world doesn't need more. It needs precisely the quality of light only you can offer. Fourth, set healthy boundaries as an act of self-love. Understand that you were not designed to save, fix, or carry others. Jung identified this as one of the most common traps for emotional sponges, the belief that their sensitivity obligates them to be receptacles for others' pain. The liberating truth is that you can offer compassion without compromising your energetic integrity. You can be present without being invaded. This is the inner alchemy that transforms vulnerability into power. Not power over others, but power over yourself, over your experience, over how you allow the external world to affect your internal world. What you've experienced as isolation, as the burden of being different, Jung recognized as something much deeper, a calling to individuation. This term, so central to Jungian psychology, describes the process by which you become wholly who you were meant to be, not who the world demands you to be. Your heightened sensitivity, your sharp perception, your inability to settle for the superficial. These are not flaws to be corrected or imperfections to be tolerated. They are indicators of a psyche naturally oriented toward a deeper level of consciousness. Jung observed that in every era, there exists a minority of people who carry this luminous quality, not by accident or conscious choice, but because something within them is intrinsically aligned with a broader truth. These people often experience social discomfort not because something is wrong with them, but because they are ahead in the natural process of human evolution. In a world structured to reward conformity and punish authenticity, your light is not just a personal expression. It is an act of courage. It is a silent testimony that another way of being, another way of living, is possible beyond the collective narrative of superficiality and disconnection. As we conclude our journey, carry with you this transformative truth. Your light is not a mistake. It is not excess. It is not something to be moderated, contained, or apologized for. The next time you feel that subtle rejection, that withdrawal when your light shines in its face, remember, you're not alienating people because you are flawed. You're simply being a lighthouse in a world that has normalized darkness. Lighthouses don't apologize for shining. They don't dim their intensity to accommodate ships that prefer to wander blind. They simply continue to do what they were, emit light, steadfast, regardless of the storms around. Jung taught us that the world desperately needs those who have completed their journey of individuation, who have integrated their shadows and allow their light to shine unimpeded, not for their own glory, but as silent guides for others. So keep going. Keep being too intense. Keep asking the deep questions. Keep seeking meaning beyond the surface. Keep feeling fully, living authentically, shining unshakably. Your light is not a burden to be carried. It is a beacon lighting the way. And while not everyone is ready to follow that path, your constant presence is a reminder of what is possible, a silent inspiration to those who will, one day, find the courage to let their own light shine. If this message awakened something deep in you, if you recognize this calling to transform your sensitivity into strength, join us in this community. Subscribe to the channel now to continue exploring Jung's transformative insights and those of other masters of human consciousness. As Jung reminded us, your vision will become clear only when you can look in. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. It's time to fully awaken to the power of your light.